Hey, true believers, Englentine here, and Friday night we just started doing this. It's going to be Friday first appearance Fridays. I like that Stan Lee iteration with the letters and everything. And hey, we decided let's talk about the first appearance of Hawkeye. This is actually something I haven't read before. So yeah, in all honesty, I think I've read a long time ago, like 20, 30 years ago. Hello to Nerdy Texan Accountant in the chat there. And yeah, I'm very kind of excited to go over this. I just read it right before we got on the stream, and I noticed a few things, wanted to talk about a few things. Obviously, there's some Silver Age silliness going on, but some greatness as well, some really cool things. VENKMAN, you have this. Let's see, how are we going to make sure that we could see this? And where? There we go. All righty. I got to tell you something. I dig on the cover. It's kind of cool because you sort of see that all the way through the issue, but once again, even though Hawkeye is the new guy, it's mainly focused on Iron Man. I guess we should be expecting that. And alrighty, so what do you say, Eric?
Well, a couple things I noticed from the first appearance was I'm not sure that they had his face turn in mind when they did this first issue, because boy, he sure sounded like the central casting villain.
Yeah, didn't he?
His dialogue, no use of contractions. No, just all.
There's a lot of that going on. What would you say about the cover? What do you think about the cover there? Because we're gonna go.
I like it. It's instead of floating heads, it's floating
bodies.
Hey, George, I mean, it's a little unfair. It's 4-on-1. But
I know, right? 4 Hawkeyes. I did not know there were that many. Hello to Georgia Peach and hello to Ethereal Dragon who just jumped in. And once again, tonight is first appearance Friday. We're going to be talking about Hawkeye, Tales of Suspense, number 57. And we are going to go page to page across this. And let's see, don't forget to click like, share, subscribe, you know the drill, and of course super chats. Hey, all right, so anyway, let's go to the next page there, and let's get this thing started, because it is flat. Oh, no, really. Yeah. All righty, so this is just flat out good old fashioned splash paging right here. It even says we haven't begun a story with Iron Man saving anyone's life lately, so why don't we do that? Flip the next page here. I would like to say written by Stan Lee, drawn by Don Heck, and then we get to he saved this guy. He's got him on the ground, and I love the fact that Happy Hogan picks this moment. Hey, yeah, I know the guy almost died, boss, but can you put in a good word with Stark to put in a good word with Pepper Potts so I could date him? Wait, none of those Hawkeyes are women. Oh, I know, right? What? This is a misogynist Hawkeye. But it gets better because, of course, Tony Stark. Now, I'd love to look how Tony Stark is doing the armor right now. It's piece by piece. He's taking it off and he's putting it into a briefcase. Even at some point in time, it looks like he's folding it. How does that work, Eric?
he had invented something that didn't harden until it was clicked into place. That's how it's whatever fabric or material he used. The sleeves of the arms and the legs would basically, just be fabric until they clicked on. They did that for years.
Kind of like Batman's cape in the movie where she shocked him with the taser, and we always wanted to see the cape go. Right. So yeah, but this plays, by the way, because you think he's okay. I'll take off the arm. Okay, here you go. I'm taking off the boots. Here you go. That plays coming up in just a couple of pages. So Tony Stark does say, hey, look, Pepper, I want to talk to you about a date. And she's like, a date? She's like that red-headed creature from the Tex Avery cartoons. Oh, man! And she comes running towards Stark. and of course, Tony's like, whoa, hold on. And she goes, hey, what's the problem? You asked for a date. I give you a date. And Happy's like, oh, man, I came in at the wrong time. Yeah. Joe's saying it's technologically so advanced, it's basically magic. It's superhero stuff. That's the good thing. Let's turn the page here, man.
Well, I want to know, what is this giant thing here? He just has a random...
Can you go in a little bit? What are we looking at? It looks like a Medusa head.
Looks like Jocasta, doesn't it?
A little bit. Maybe that's it. This is where Hank Pym, he walked into Tony's bedroom for some reason and saw this. Yeah. All right, what's the next page? Oh, okay, yeah. So he decides, okay, I'll take Pepper on the worst date ever, and they go to Carnival, and you see Hawkeye's there doing the target thing, and all the guys are like, hey, man, he can hit the target, big dang deal. Bring on the dancing girls. And
I like his outfit, though. Look at his outfit. Deer skin and everything.
It's like Davy Crockett.
Right. But he's like, he hits every single target. There's always one guy. He's like, where are the girls? Like, sir.
Born in a comic shop in '63, the sharpest bowman you ever did see. I don't know.
And people wonder why I don't go on rides.
Yeah. Okay, sure. Yeah, that happens all the time. So yeah, they're watching Hawkeye do his thing, and Tony's worried that he's going to be giving Pepper a horrible date. And oh my gosh, that ride's going crazy. But listen, this is a line I just didn't get. Why doesn't somebody do something that if that thing ever breaks apart? Like, wait, why doesn't somebody do something in the future if it breaks apart?
I think it was a pause. She's like, if that thing ever breaks apart.
Oh, okay. So I'm reading it wrong. Why doesn't somebody ever do something if that thing ever breaks apart? That's I don't know.
Why doesn't somebody do something?
I got confused.
If that thing breaks apart. Yeah.
Was that the lady from Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Yeah. Oh man, that one. Yes, I love Tex Avery cartoons.
Yeah.
By the way,
this is terrible. Nobody can stop it in time. Pepper,
okay.
Excuse me. Here, this is the best excuse here. I love this. Pepper, excuse me for a minute. I gotta call the factory.
Exactly. But here's the thing. He actually says, I'm glad I brought my special attaché case. I was able to change into my armor in seconds. And we just saw him click, click, bump, click, click, jump. He's getting dressed. Watch it. In real time, that thing would have snapped and would have fallen, and he'd be like, whoops. He'd be putting on his helmet going,
he just took his trench coat open. Here, he's got the armor already on. Oh,
yeah, there you go.
He's wearing the shirt underneath.
Why, Tony? Your abs, they feel like steel.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, he's very dreamy. And abs of steel. Ding ding.
Can you really blame Hawkeye for trying to do? Yes, of course. The title of this will stay, because it is exactly what happens in the book.
I like it. He says, like, this is perfect. It'll keep her from suggesting a ride in a tunnel of love. Let's watch. Basically saying, like, let's watch this schmuck.
Yeah, let's go on to the next one here. All righty. So he goes over and he ends up he ends up saving the day. And of course, Hawkeye's in the back going, well, they didn't watch my Target show, but they liked Iron Man, so I'll do what I can to become like him. And he actually says, all I need to do is fix up some arrows, and I could do exactly what he did. Now, here's something. I don't think, did they ever really go into the fact that Clint Barton knows engineering enough that he's the one that made his little arrowheads there? They ever talk about that again?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right, because yeah, you got to think there's some skill here. He creates quite a few different arrows and arrowheads, but boom, I mean, we're talking about like with Bobby with Mockingbird, because she knew a little bit of biology. Nowadays, they're talking about, oh, she's as smart as Reed Richards.
Yeah, I think it was just always understood that. And the same with Oliver Queen, that maybe they, You know, they were so proficient at their chosen profession that they learned enough to be able to fashion arrow tips that would serve them.
Right. I guess. I don't know.
That's the best I got.
There you go. All right. Let's see what's up next.
All right. The next one going up here.
All righty. So, yeah, he did. I got to tell you, I've always liked Hawkeye's costume. And even here, he says, I'm going to give him a costume that's going to make him forget about Iron Man. And if I'm going Hawkeye versus Iron Man as far as costume is concerned, yeah, I've got to go with Hawkeye.
I got to say, though, he aged a lot.
And I know, right? Look at those age lines on that, man. That's what I thought, too.
This is Walter Cronkite.
Wait, what? He looks like he's like 50 years old in this one.
But then he puts his on it. Like, I'm like, okay, now that looks like Bullseye with those line arts.
Yeah. Yeah, so he does up his arrows. You see he's got his, of course, at the bottom, you see his special arrowhead and everything.
Look at this, though. Look at this. It tells me where to go. Thank you. Why do we do this now? Because it gets so confusing when people don't know how to write panels.
Yeah, they wanted the body shot. Yeah. And I think today you would just get an entire page, and I'm Hawkeye. What? And then it would go on with a story.
Yeah, the body shot would be like on the left side. It'd be like over here, and then like they have like, you know, just, and then you read down and then go and then read those two. You know, they switch it. But
yeah. Let's see. So let Iron Man and every costume adventurer look to his laurels. For Hawkeye is about to name. I can't remember. Make them all look sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Every costume adventurer look to his laurels. Breen, what does laurels mean? You're the encyclopedia over there.
Accomplishments.
Okay.
You know, the expression "don't rest on your laurels."
Grab left by the
unless you're Oliver Queen, they say then rest on your Sarahs.
Yeah. So he uses go on to the next page. He uses his suction-tipped arrows. My suction-tipped arrow sticks to the exact spot I aim for, and then my spring pulley devices whisk me towards the arrow tip in just seconds.
There's gonna be some spring, bro.
Oh yeah, quite a bit. But here's the thing: right away we actually see now, because you talked about how he seemed very supervillainish, but the first thing he does is stop a jewel thief.
Yep.
And while he's examining, he's like, "Well, I'll catch up with him in a minute. First, I'll just inspect what he dropped." No wonder he ran so fast. This is quite a haul: diamonds, rubies, and the cops come around. And they of course think that he's the guy who is involved there. All right, what do we? And then in the next page, he's running away from the cops, and for some reason, right at that very moment, Black Widow rolls up.
I still like this. So this is my favorite part. Look, he dropped the loot. We better pick it up before someone helps himself to it. Let him go. It's like really, as cops would be like, I'm chasing pursuit. You grab the loot.
Well, I would not be surprised, or I don't know if I would not do this myself, where it's like, oh my gosh, that guy stole all those jewels and rubies. We because they could easily just pick it up and say that he still stole it. You know, I don't know. Maybe that's why I will never actually be a cop. Ollie didn't need a lot of R&D for his famous boxing glove.
I do love this, though. He gets picked up by none other than Black Widow. You know,
exactly. Yes.
And even back then, she was a dame to look at. You know, a dame to die for.
A dame to die for. Yeah. So she says, "Why run when you can ride? Shut the door behind you." Yep. Because everybody needs to be told that in the car. And Hawkeye's, "Oh, I need a lift, but why did she stop for me?" And so she says, "If you're as adventurous and as powerful as your appearance would indicate, you might be the very ally I've been seeking." And thus, smitten by the Black Widow's fatal beauty, the man called Hawkeye enters into a dramatic alliance, which is to change the course of both of their lives and Iron Man's as well.
But I love his response, though. This is very much probably where Breen got it from. Is like, whatever you're looking for, gorgeous, you can bet your bottom dollar.
I'll bet your bottom dollar is actually a very famous phrase from the 40s. All right, so let's see. Next page, man. Okay, so whoops, here we go. All right, so Black Widow's walking him around, and she says, "Follow me," and he's like, "To the ends of the earth, gorgeous." And she basically says, "Wow, this guy is a simp."
He's a dope.
And has no idea that I'm a communist spy. Oh, and that's something I want to talk about. So let's talk about this for just a little bit. Sit back for just a touch. Okay, we didn't go over it, but right on the first page, we have Iron Man talking about how there's a metal piece in his chest, how he has the armor and the thing to keep him alive. We learned that Iron Man is, everybody in the world thinks Iron Man is Tony Stark's bodyguard and not that Tony Stark is Iron Man. There is so much story, so much character, everything you need to know to move forward in the first page. That would be information nowadays that would be just meted out over like 7 issues, 1 page, all you need to know. And right here, we get that with Black Widow. As she says, "It is fortunate that he's taken with my beauty. I will be able to twist him around my little finger, but he must not learn that I am really a red spy." That means communist, gang, not Republican. And he's like, "Hey, this is a really cool lab, but you don't look like the scientist type." And she goes, "I'm not. This equipment belongs to the one I written home from, but there are things here that will increase your own power." And then she thinks to herself, "My communist masters provided this estate for me, and now their investment shall really pay off." And basically, she goes about convincing Hawkeye to try to kill Iron Man. And he does so, and all throughout this, or he tries, and all throughout the book, you'll find that he's doing it because the Black Widow is so beautiful. This man agreed to kill Iron Man because he thinks it's going to get him laid.
Exactly. That's how, I love it.
One of the greatest villain motivations ever.
And then
hands down.
We see Tony down there. He's thinking about, he's like, poor Pepper. He's like, I had enjoyed a good time, and at least I can do is take her on this time, give her a glamorous evening, that she expected. And he's like, I'm gonna go ask her now. He's like, wait, I'm wearing my armor. Crap, gotta go.
Alrighty, so
yeah, and the thing is, he admits himself, like, you know what? Maybe I do like her, and that's why I'm jealous. So you see a little bit of character developments.
Alrighty, so in the next page, this is all like party talk. They're at a party. Happy's like, "Oh, well, I just wanted to take you to the movies." He's drawn looking like an imbecile. Was this a character thing back in the day, Eric?
Yeah, okay, a couple things. If Black Widow didn't tell Hawkeye to kill him, she said any man who could defeat Iron Man could be a man I could fall for, because they really didn't. Killing wasn't a big thing in those days in comics.
Okay.
But as for this, it was another case of when Happy Hogan was introduced, he was a punch-drunk pug that Tony basically took pity on and hired as his chauffeur. When they decided there was a plot to be made out of Tony being in love with her, not being able to act on it because of the chest plate, and Pepper being in love with Tony, they thought, well, if we keep him looking like that, no one's going to buy it. So kind of like when, in the soaps, when the plain-looking actor or actress is replaced by, a bombshell.
Yeah.
They did that with Happy. He got much better looking, from by issue 70-something, he was, looked like Rock Hudson.
Okay. Well, I would also like to point this out. On the bottom part, we see Hawk. Say again.
A straight Rock Hudson.
Okay. We see Hawkeye trying to get a ride, and so there's a car moving away, and this is part of the Silver Age silliness that I was pointing out. He shoots, the car's moving, And of course, the arrow brings him to the car. No, your ass is dragged. I'm sorry, but that's the way physics work. You're either skiing the freaking pavement or you're being dragged behind it.
Didn't you see the explosion behind him? No.
It's freaking ridiculous. Who's Rock Hudson? Oh, and hello to Dungeon Master.
If you don't know,
hey, she is a really high class name. And Chris Bolton's in the house. How you doing, sir?
Chris Bolton. If you don't know who Rock Hudson is, he's the guy who they named the Hudson Bay after.
There you go. Yes, argue that. Tag Venkman in it anytime somebody says it.
Yeah, I figured we were doing a story from the mid '60s. I would keep my references there.
Yeah, you know what? Even I don't really know Rock Hudson. He was in like Pajama Game and a whole bunch of movies like that.
He was the guy that girls swooned after.
There you
Rock
go.
Hudson, Doris Day, they were the it couple in the 50s turning to the 60s.
Yep. All righty. So let's see. Next page up.
Yeah. I do love it though. She basically like pretends she's like, you know what? I don't even give a crap about Happy, but I'll use them to make Tony jealous.
Oh yeah, that was a woman thing in the Silver Age, wasn't it?
And they dolled her up too, because when they introduced her, she was very mousy also.
Yeah.
So it's one of those you create the characters, and then you go, oh crap, this is actually going to make it. Well, we better tweak these designs.
How do we really want them to act? So yeah. No, that was Hudson Hawk.
No, were they using actual real rifles? Or were they using like plasma rifles? This part, because I know the Avengers, like some of the guards, weren't using.
Well, go to the next page, where
you see him. You don't see him shooting though.
Yeah, you see Hawkeye. He actually makes it to, I guess this is Stark Labs or whatever, and he blows something up, which of course has Iron Man, who was in his tuxedo not but a second ago, is flying ahead. He's like, oh, you guys stay behind me. It's like, we couldn't outrun you if we tried. But I like the fact that Hawkeye just kind of sets up. All right, he's coming around. Really, really good.
The suction cups. When I first heard the suction cups, I was like, these are just dumb, until I see the next page.
Did you guys notice anything about this page?
Yeah.
It's 5 panels. What?
No. As it pertains to the cover.
Yes.
That's Iron Man from the cover, and that's the Hawkeye from the top left hand. They were just cut and pasted the cover.
Yep.
From interior panels.
I did not notice that. So they literally just cut and paste the. So the
old-fashioned way, literally cutting and pasting. Not like
we should be able to see other Hawkeyes then if we're going by that.
Well, I'm pretty sure the full page, the one that would have been a full page spread today, when he got that one with the arrows in the panels, I'm pretty sure that's the one in the right-hand corner.
Yeah, that was him. Okay, and let's see. There's going to be one. I'm looking at the cover right now, and there's going to be one where he's got an arrow in one hand and his bow in the other. One where he's looking up, and there you go. And the Black Widow on the cover is from her in the car.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. No, that's good eye. When did you find that particular gem out, or did you just notice it?
At 9:43, sir.
Okay. All righty. Hey, Chris Bolton, we're doing a new show. It's Friday, First Appearance Fridays, where we're going to go over the first appearance of whatever superhero, villain, team, item, weapon. I don't care. And right now we're looking at Tales of Suspense number 57. This is the very first appearance of Hawkeye. All righty. Let's flip the page here. Get to the next one there.
The eggshells. I love them.
The eggshells?
Yeah,
oh yeah, look at that. Oh my gosh, that's an eggshell arrow. When I read it the first time, I didn't notice that. That is so true. So Iron Man's like, what? I'm being attacked with arrows? How can anyone expect me to stop me with some mirror? Oh, wait a minute. There's some sort of chemical on the suction tips. It has a rusting action. My armor is stiffening. It's getting hard to move. Whoever is responsible has found my weak point, and I can't fight rust. And he flips away. I've got to get away and shed my armor before it's too rusty to remove. And so it looks like Iron Man is hiding under like a filing cabinet or something like that. While I love this. Running won't help you, Iron Man. I know you're here somewhere. You can't escape. Hawkeye the Marksman. I did not know that was his full name.
Yeah. But I'm just hoping that he's not like, he has underwear underneath there at least.
It does not look like it. That is bare arms. That is bare legs, ladies and gentlemen. And unlike 1983 Hawkeye story, which we talked about yesterday, please check out that video if you haven't done it already.
Yep.
If you wait, no, yours is colored differently. Your source is different than mine. Mine actually has, let me show you. Mine has I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. The arms and legs, can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
The arms and legs are pink. So it looks like he's actually been burned. But yeah, yours is actually colored better. I dig on that a little bit better.
It's from the Masterworks, that's why.
Oh, okay. Yeah, mine's from mine's a scanned issue copy of the comic.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those of you for the 2 or 3 people who might not know, a long time ago, about 10, 11, maybe 12 years ago, I went to this thing called iForm, and this guy was selling everything Marvel, and
yeah.
Breen saw it. He knows I mean everything Marvel. And I got this one on that. So there you go. All righty. So let's go to the next page.
Yeah. And they wasted an opportunity. It's like, oh my gosh, he's naked somewhere.
But here, I like this. This shows, Hawkeye is smart. He's saying discarded pieces of Iron Man's armor. I'll bring them back to my lab and analyze them. The man who learns all of the secrets of Iron Man's armor could become one of the most powerful men. And we see Tony Stark going, oh, this is what I'm after. I'm glad I had the foresight to conceal duplicate suits of armor around various parts of the factory. How would you, Eric, like to be like a janitor who notices a loose floorboard?
I'd be glad that I'd found it at a Stark factory and not in communist China.
What the freaking heck?
What I would never be heard from again.
There you go.
Well, I do like that he's got the Stark ring there too.
Yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny because, like, wait, you just randomly put our Iron Man outfits all throughout the factory?
The thing is, when I first saw it, I'm like, is he opening up a cardboard box?
But
I know, right?
But I think by what you were just talking about, when I said that when they realized the characters were going to have longevity, like Happy and Pepper, I think when they realized that they had something in Hawkeye, making him a cookie cutter science villain wasn't going to get it. So I don't think this was ever referenced again. His science acumen.
Yeah, at the very least, engineering.
And I'm noticing that there's like, they show this, they're showing the him going there, but you don't see any like jet propulsion at all.
That is true. But here's something that has to be pointed out, okay? Because like I said, occasionally when you're reading a Silver Age book, you come across Silver Age silliness. So he says, I found this spare armor. Oh my gosh, I got to put it on before Hawkeye comes in.
Yep.
I don't have a boot with this armor. I forgot to leave a boot here. It's across the freaking factory getting fixed. So it was like, hey, no, we want this thing to be 6 panels. We need something ridiculous in there to put it. Okay, I'll have them go across the, and we'll just, there's no point to that. But
I like how you mentioned saying, like, I must find it before Hawkeye finds you. Like, if some guy attacked me and I have no idea who this guy is, you'd be like, what was his name again?
Yeah.
It's like,
well, he did shout out Hawkeye the Marksman. What I think is funny is he's called the Marksman a couple of times in this comic. Yep. He's only called Hawkeye, I think, almost just a couple of times, but I think he's called the Marksman like 3 or 4 different times. I don't know if they decided on a name. Seriously, at this point, it's like, I'm Hawkeye the Marksman. Well, the Marksman is going to be getting. The Marksman said he was the Marksman.
Yeah. Here, same panel. It's Hawkeye, and it says, now I've got to go after the Marksman before he gets too big of a head.
There you go.
It's like, what the heck? But I do love this though. I'm like, that's kind of cool. He's got the whole Discovery Zone pods, little tubes.
Yeah, and that big thing at the end, that's a ball pit. So he's got to walk there.
These are cages for the balls.
He just walks in, bazinga. All righty, next page, man. Let's go to the next. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so Iron Man, he sees Hawkeye. He's trying to get away in his car. He says, there's only one car on this road at this hour racing away from my factory. That must be Hawkeye heading towards LaGuardia Airport. Yep. Who can he be? Where did he come from? It seems that every masked unusual criminal in the East tries to attack my weapons factory sooner or later. Every time I turn around, I'm menaced by some crackpot or spy. Well, the first thing to do is stop his car. Hawkeye's dead, ladies and gentlemen. It's like, you got to think the guy's probably going 50, 60 miles an hour.
So now he's Hawkeye the Skid Marksman.
Yeah,
exactly.
He went through a fence and then crashed into a tree. And I don't know if the cars back then, did they have seatbelts in all the cars?
Well, here's the thing. You weren't compelled to wear them. Yeah, exactly. I remember many a family trip where I was sitting on my seatbelt. So I would, you had the waist belt for sure, but more than likely, Hawkeye was sitting on his seatbelt.
Some of those early cars in the 50s, they didn't have seatbelts. They were required to put them in there.
Well, one thing at the very least, it was pure metal. But another thing is he was stopped dead in his tracks. That boy is flying through the windshield.
I'm waiting for him to get up because he should be on his hands crawling and like, oh, what the heck?
Yeah, with a freaking engine block. Yeah, his steering column embedded in his chest. That's how he should have been leaving that.
So it must have been Black Widow's car because there's no front license plate.
Oh, okay. So Hawkeye does jump out. He says, it's him again. Can there be two Iron Men? Or could he have made another suit? I'm all out of rusting fluid, but I've plenty other arrows for him. And he shoots one. And once again, but this time Iron Man is ready for the marksman's attack. One of the handiest weapons of all is my little magnetic repulsor. All right, let's check the next page.
Is this new or is this something they got rid of? I don't remember the top part having like a thing because it was always either on his fingertips or it was on his palms. He had the repulsor rays. I don't remember the top part. So this. Did they get rid of this in the newer versions?
Eric, good. Well, my thinking is this: a lot of times, especially in the Silver Age, man, why isn't Maranya here? A lot of times, especially in the Silver Age. Iron Man's armor was kind of like Batman's utility belt in the Super Friends. Oh my gosh, we need a vacuum cleaner to clean up these space ants. So yeah, Iron Man's armor did whatever the hell he wanted it to do.
Just because he needed roller skates and they were there.
Iron Man's armor did have roller skates. It's one of my favorite things I've ever seen.
All right, go to the next page.
All righty. Okay, so let's see. Iron Man's thinking to himself, but my transistors won't power the repulsor beam forever. I've got to try a surprise attack of my own. And Hawkeye's thinking, I'll beat him somehow. I can't fail the gorgeous Black Widow. First of all, see, I'm telling you, it's all because he was hard up for Black Widow. Now, granted, like I believe it was Computer Bots, can you blame him?
Right?
Yeah.
I can't blame him up. But I want to know, more importantly, who thought that people have orange, pink, and green boats?
All the different, yeah.
I was like,
yeah, that is, I guess they're, yeah, why? Why would that be? Like,
there's multiple of them too.
Maybe here, my only thinking is because if they colored them like white, it would just look funny against the blue background. Like it's got to be a printer's choice. What do you think, Eric?
I don't know. I mean, they only had 4 colors to play with. I guess they might have.
Let's use them all.
Yeah.
Iron Man back then was on LSD.
Right.
And they switched to alcohol.
So Iron Man decides he's going to fly up and then dive down at Hawkeye at top speed, but he realizes that Hawkeye is a lot faster than he gave him credit for, and Hawkeye ends up hitting him with a strong nylon rope strand, tangling me up. I can't repulse them in time. Next page.
I love this one. So he's like, oh, crap.
Yeah. All right. And Oh, hey, Maranya, what's up?
Hey.
Yeah, I just realized we're doing an Iron Man book. And Maranya's not here. What the heck? By the way, Slitherclaw says he's getting this book for you. It's on the way. Not really. Hello, RDV's family. Okay, so let's go.
They yell.
He does his little energy thing. It's but not for nothing. Is Iron Man's might spoken of in hushed tones by the underworld. With an irresistible surge of power, his transistor-aided muscles fling his arms apart, thus snapping the strands before they can tighten. And Hawkeye's like, he broke free? What's he trying now? And Iron Man, okay, this is stupid. Okay, come on.
Wouldn't bend and snap.
If he hit the freaking dock hard enough, he would go through it. Instead, it does one of those cartoon wavy things. It knocks Hawkeye out. And then, that's the pier, but then Hawkeye's on a little wooden buoy kind of thing, and Iron Man bends it instead of just snap.
Actually, it's what's left of the pier, actually, I think.
Yes, I'm blaming it. I'm blaming Eric on this one.
But, this is cartoony things. Like, if you
that
is. His board back, he'll snap back. No.
That was ridiculous. Come on.
Look at it. He's like the Wicked Witch. He's like just dead.
Yeah. Let's see. They actually had 3 color process. Red process is yellow and cyan. The 4th color is black ink, says Maranya. And let's see. So he lands on the pier, flings Hawkeye onto the wooden thing. What got into him? He's like an avenging tornado. And then Iron Man bends it, just trying to keep you from getting bored. Robin Hood flings him into the water. Oh, no, you don't. You can't escape me by drowning. You've got too much explaining to do.
I think what it is, the whole entire pier went under. He's just hanging on this part right here. That's what it looks like. But
okay. I see what happened. All right. Yeah. So the rest of the pier breaks, and then he fell onto the pylon.
And you fling him into the boards floating on top of the ocean.
There you go. I can't see that on my copy. So we see Black Widow looking on, and it says, but a pair of the most glamorous eyes in the world. Even the narrator wants to get laid.
Yes, that's my girl.
Are also watching the grim tableau from a hiding place nearby. I was to pick him up here after his victory, a victory which never took place. But then, thinking the battle won, the Golden Avenger makes his most serious mistake, turning his back on Hawkeye. While he's unconscious, I'll go to his car, retrieve the pieces of my other suit of armor. Next page. All righty. And so we see Hawkeye. He seems to be feigning unconsciousness. He rolls over with his explosive arrow. I'll use my most potent arrow of all, the demolition blast warhead, which the Black Widow helped me to assemble. And now, farewell, Iron Man. Nothing could save you now.
I love this little X-ray stuff that shows it how it's inside.
Yeah, that was something they used to do, and it kind of like it was almost like they were trying to explain the superpower, the weird thing that was going on. By the way, I would like to address something that Eric said earlier about how he didn't seem 100% murderous. He seems 100% murderous now, Eric. Just throwing that out there.
Now it can't be. You notice he doesn't say kill though, because I said they would not go there in those days.
But he says nothing can save you.
Right. Well, but still, from a beating, so that's because, I'm just throwing that out there. I said it's now he may have been, but that might have been code in 1965 Marvel for I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, but come on, Eric. If we were in a fight and I was to throw this bottle at you, you'd be like, oh, he's trying to beat me. If I threw an explosive at you.
Yeah.
But what if I was wearing a suit of armor?
I would have to throw the explosive at you. Plus, I would be laughing.
Just to beat me.
I would probably be laughing at you as well.
But if you were in a suit of armor and I use armor-piercing rounds.
Now we're talking about how to kill Eric Breen. Ladies and gentlemen in the chat, if you have a way of... There you go. Okay.
This looks like armor-piercing.
I need better friends.
Don't worry, Evil Black Cat's on here. But as Black Cat would say,
I know he would be like, "Oh, I've been thinking about this for a long time. How to kill Eric?"
It's like He's like, I got a patent on this.
He'd scroll it out like the freaking Declaration of Independence. Gonna hear ye. All right, let's go to the next page here. Let's see, but Hawkeye is wrong. There's one thing that can save Iron Man, and that is the protection of the strongest, most skillfully made flexible iron armor in existence, tempered to the highest degree of resiliency ever attained by any metal. And although the demolition blast ricochets harmlessly off the shoulder of the Golden Avenger, the tremendous impact is hurled away in another direction, right towards the startled Madame Natasha before she can save herself. And she gets knocked unconscious, and he's like, what have I done? She's still breathing. I can't let her die. And so he takes her to the boat. She has to live. She has to be mine. She's the only one I've ever loved. You literally knew her for 30 minutes.
Yeah,
he is okay.
Did you forget the miniseries?
Say again, Eric. What'd you say?
I said love is blind, and it's deaf, dumb, and stupid too.
I know, right? You have talked to her the same amount as a Family Ties episode, and oh my gosh, she's the only one I've ever loved.
So Love is Blind, Daredevil, and Dumb and Stupid is Hawkeye?
Let's go with that, yes.
I also want to point out that if this arrow was truly designed to kill a man in a suit of armor, Natasha's dead.
Right.
So I win. Thank you.
All righty. So I do, Maranya is noticing the really cool effect of how it goes from one panel to the other. And from Iron Man's armor to her, so yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a good effect on that.
I do like how the water is like the same color as the grass.
Yeah, it does sort of look like they're standing on the water there, doesn't it? If it wasn't for the tree,
it wasn't for this pier here. I think that they're all in the ocean.
Yeah, that's kind of like whenever you see a movie and it all looks blue at night. That's a brightly lit room. But they just want to make it look like night, and it just doesn't work. And you're right, that doesn't work there. Let's go to the next page here.
All right. This is the final page. Actually.
Yep, and we see Iron Man looking after the boat. Then by the time Iron Man is fully recovered from the effects of the staggering blow, he's trying to escape in the fog, but he won't get far. There's no place he can flee to that I can't follow with my power jets. It's hard to be certain in the haze, but I seem to see a girl in the boat. She looks vaguely familiar, but it's too far away. And he starts flying up when a jet plane flies over. I don't dare get airborne. I'd be a menace to the planes taking off and landing. And so Hawkeye and Black Widow get away. And we get this bit. And so the ironclad Avenger returns to his factory on Long Island Sound, and in the privacy of his locked office prepares to become the wealthy, handsome Tony Stark again, never suspecting how close he had been to his former arch foe, Madame Natasha, better known as the beautiful but deadly Black Widow. Pepper and Happy must still be at the movies. Nobody here except the skeletons, the night shift, nothing more I could do now except wait for the morning. Thus, one of the wealthiest men in the world slowly trudges through the sand outside his world-famous weapons factory, not daring to confess his love to the girl he cares for, not knowing when the mechanical chest device he wears will fail, ending his life in an instant. Nor does he know when or where his next deadly threat will come from. This is Tony Stark, rich, handsome, successful Tony Stark, one of the most tragic heroes in the world has ever known. Dun dun dun.
Note for the thrilling origin of Iron Man, don't miss Marvel Tales Annual on sale now.
There you go. Right. Yeah. Let's undercut the drama by selling. Okay, Mr.
Okay, if Iron Man has just recovered from the staggering impact of the blow, there's no big hurry to find Natasha because she's dead. So there's your Silver Age silliness.
And how low do those planes fly above the ocean?
Well, he said they were taking off and landing. So
if he's going, but they're going away from the airport, they're going out to sea.
And how many Marvel comics in these days ended with the hero,
Walking
either
away.
in his superhero costume or in his civvies, shown from behind, head down, shoulders slumped, the David Banner plinking piano music from the Hulk series playing, pining away for something, whether it was Spider-Man going, so I beat the Vulture, but I still don't have money for Aunt May's medicine. I didn't study for that test. Or Karen looked at Foggy. At least I think so. I can't tell because I'm blind. But maybe I'll create another identity and be jealous of myself.
My brother.
I mean, it was just so many of these.
There you go. First appearance of Mike Murdoch is next because everybody's waiting for that one, right? Yeah, that is kind of. But you're right. That happens quite a bit in the 1960s. But that's Silver Age silliness.
I loved it. That's what I'm saying.
I'm just gonna say right now, since they're already, it's like a cosmic sign right here. It says we have to do the origin Iron Man next.
Well, I don't know. Let's
ask Marania.
We've done two Marvels. We've done two Marvels in a row.
And your point.
Yeah, I know, right? It doesn't matter. We should do whatever the heck comes up. That would be awesome. Let's see. Well, Hawkeye worked in a circus where the only real woman available is a bearded lady, so it makes sense he'd go after a hot tomato like Natasha. That is true. So
we saw the miniseries how he just went after girl. You know, Mockingbird was the first one. He said, "You know what? I'm done with this."
Mm-hmm. All right, so gang, let us know what you guys think. For some reason, what popped into my head was Kingpin as far as next week's. But before we talk about that, what did you think about this issue, Venkman?
It's enjoyable. It's. I mean, I said there's the whole Pepper thing. I already knew that was gonna be a thing because that's what they did back then. They romanticize, you know, they love triangles and stuff. It's never going to go away. It's been since the 60s, even before that, the 40s. Didn't really bother me. What I really liked, though, like I said, was those eggshell arrows, the suction cups. Because I'm like, suction cups. And then you're like, wait, he actually, the breaks open, they have acid in it. There's a purpose for them. Because before, in the miniseries, he uses the thing on climb up.
Yeah, that is true, isn't it? But that is part of the beautiful Silver Age or Golden Age silliness that we would see even with Green Arrow.
Yeah, and I love suction cup arrows. Even with we even saw that with Tom Cruise, like when he had the gloves climbing.
Oh lordy!
But don't you remember in the 80s or the 90s, they had guys or 70s? Yeah, Superman. Remember guys?
Yeah, the movie.
It's coming up, and like he's like, "Hi."
One of my favorite scenes. Now, Nerdy's, he's saying he dug the comic. I wouldn't turn the origin of Iron Man down. Kingpin would be a good origin story, less intimidating brother of him. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll talk about which one to do.
I think the Kingpin just had a cameo in his first appearance, so in Spider-Man 50.
Well, there's always
okay. Well, we'll find out. We'll if that's the case, then we would bleed over. We would have to go through and just tell the story, and then
we can always go back to
kind of telling us what she wants next week.
Yeah, I mean, there's also Tales of Suspense issue number 52,
which would be the first Black Widow. You guys are in Iron Man mode here.
Black Widow, Iron Man.
I'll tell you what. I am going to put my foot down. I'm gonna pull rank though on Black Widow. We're gonna wait for Black Widow when the movie comes out.
Hopefully it'll be soon. They're talking about July.
I know. Okay, no, I should say it like this. We're gonna do the Black Widow if the movie comes out. At this point, I feel like I should have the poster up right here, going, yeah, whenever that comes out, and I don't believe it will. Yep, because I don't know if they're actually going to do that. So it's getting kind of ridiculous how many times it's been pushed back. Okay. You guys want to do the first appearance of Iron Man? We'll do the first appearance of Iron Man. Right. I'm good to go. All righty. So hang out with us
right now.
No, hang out with us next week, gang. For that, we only got one review of the comic from the chat, and but I got to tell you, how did you feel about this? What was good and what was bad about it, there?
Well, I'm not gonna say anything was bad because it did what it was supposed to do. It introduced the villain, gave him a little bit tragic. I don't know what the exact word is I'm looking for. Where he might have started out with good intentions, but boy, it sure was easy to get him to switch sides.
Yeah,
but I said, dame's his grief, Sammy. He wouldn't be the first guy to be turned by a pretty face. Now, again, the dialogue was, like I said, central casting for Marvel villains of the day, because I think they probably got the sales figures in for this, because they had another. I think he shows up again in issue 61, but then after that, I think his next appearance might have been in Avengers 16, when they decided to make him a good guy and have him join the Avengers. So, at least they didn't go so far. Like I said, we can debate whether or not he meant to kill him or not, but either way, it worked for the story, and it had the subplots going with Happy and Pepper being in love with Tony, and that's when she accepts the date with Happy to make him jealous, and then it continues from there. And
it looks like it's 59 for the next Hawkeye thing. It's the double feature one.
With Daredevil, Love is Blind. With Hawkeye, it's love at first sight. When you land planes head towards the airport, and here's your sign. No, he actually said when they're taking off or landing. So there you go.
Okay, so it shows him.
Hawkeye has a badass costume. I've got to tell you something. I am enjoying this. I kind of played around with the idea of doing the daily Daredevil, just reading a chapter of Daredevil and such, because I love the title. I haven't read all of the Silver Age comics in a long damn time. This kind of has me wanting to do that.
I think discussing it too actually it adds more to it.
Yeah, remember, of course. Oh, of
Eric's
course.
Eric's the oldest. You're the middle child. I'm the youngest.
That has what to do with what?
No, as far as it's perspective. I'm just turning 36. This is a book. It's like
Do it all for the nookie, so you can take that cookie. All righty, so join us. Definitely join us next week. We're going to be talking about the first appearance of Iron Man, which I do believe is Action Comics #1. So make sure that you guys rush out and buy a copy. Don't want to miss it. Yeah. As a matter of fact, buy 2 copies of Action Comics #1 and send me one.
And it's actually the theme for you next week.
The Iron Man does whatever an iron can. Cleans, flattens your clothes, makes them look good. I don't know.
Jim Star says at DC first. How about the other Hal Jordan?
For a DC first, how about the
Airwave?
Oh. That is a odd comic request.
Oh, so I thought we already did Hal Jordan. Oh, wait, that was Nova.
Hey, I see what you did there. Yeah. Airwave, that would definitely be an interesting, lonely live stream.
Well, Airboy.
What is Airwave's first appearance?
That's the Soundwave, and
it might have been Green Lantern, Green Arrow 100, unless they. Yeah, I honestly don't know.
Okay, it says here that Airwave's first appearance is Detective Comics #60.
Oh, so there was. Okay, there was a second Airwave who was Hal Jordan's nephew.
Oh,
well, what about Green Arrow from More Fun Comics '73 back in 1941?
I kind of did that as a video. I wouldn't mind doing that like this, because it is a good comic. It's a funny freaking comic. That is stupid beyond belief in some scenes. I'm not going to lie to you guys. If you want to do a Daredevil show, do issue 47, volume 1, Gene Colan art, great. Well, I was actually literally talking about I want to go through them. I'll be the only one talking about it, but it might be fun. I don't think anybody likes Daredevil as much as I do, except for I shouldn't have sold that goddamn #7.
Well, not just his first appearances, you can origins and stuff. You can always talk about stuff like the Daredevil with the Frank Miller, where you had Black Widow and Bullseye, little crossovers. You can talk about those. It doesn't really have to be like, a certain thing.
All righty. Maybe do a DC and Marvel every week, like do a 2-hour live stream where we do one comic and then another.
Yeah, we could do that. We could do that with we could do Spider-Man and do and then maybe do Black Spider and DC.
Well, I would rather just do one at a time, because what happens is in the aftermarket, basically after we do the live stream, people get scared of a 2 and a 3 hour live stream. So you want to keep it down. Unfortunately, our larger audiences come after about half an hour to 40 minutes in. It's not,
and then they leave, so we're done showing the comic.
I know. I noticed. They went, we're done. We don't want to hear from these guys. Yeah, I remember. But
well,
that would be the problem with it. Yeah,
people love visuals. You know?
That is why I like to keep the comic up.
Yeah.
So it's not just 3 talking heads. All righty, gang. So I guess I was outvoted. We're going to be doing Iron Man, the first appearance of Iron Man, Tales of Suspense, number 39.
Sweet. Not
Action Comics, number 1. So join us next Friday. And yeah, this is fun. We'll have to figure out a reason of why we shouldn't talk about other comics. Oh, wait, we do have Throwback Thursdays. Eric, did you say you were going to be a part of next week, or are you going to have
I will not be, because I don't have the story, and I'm not sure how late I'll be.
What story are we talking about next week?
You said we were doing Prey.
Prey? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool. And I think after that, I would like to get a hold of Hawk World, and maybe even talk to, I believe his name is Tim, runs the Hawk World website, see if he wants to be a part of it.
Ooh, we can even do Power Girls first miniseries.
That's a possibility, yeah. So we've got, what do we got? Tomorrow's the auction. Then on Monday we've got issues. Tuesday is going to be top 10 worst Avengers. So make sure you make your own top 10 on that. Wednesday is covering comics, and then Thursday is we're going to be talking about Batman Prey, and then next Friday is Iron Man. Boom, I've got a week to do.
Cheesecake Saturdays.
There you go. Hey, why not? All righty there, gang. So once again, thanks for hanging out with us and keeping the conversation going. Thank you very much to RDV and Eric for sitting through an entire issue of Tales of Suspense. I know that was really hard for you.
It was hard.
Yeah. Next week, we're going to be doing Ms. Marvel, because I know you love that. We're going to be talking about the first appearance of Star. How about that, Eric? Anyway, guys, once again, thank you very, very much for watching. Have a great night.
Good night.